Today I'm gonna show you how to make sourdough pancakes. These are my daughter's favorite pancakes. The center is soft and spongy, and the inside is a little bit like a donut, except it's a pancake. These are phenomenal, and I'm craving some sourdough pancakes, so let's get started. We'll start with our wet ingredients. Into a large mixing bowl, add your buttermilk, and this can be cold or room temperature. Next, add warm water, and this is about 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Now add 100 grams or half a cup of active, fluffy sourdough starter, and I like to measure this out right into the bowl. Set a scale under the bowl, zero it out, and measure out your starter. Now crack in 1 large egg, preferably room temperature. If you're adding room temperature ingredients, your batter will rise faster. Also add some light olive oil, or you can use canola or vegetable oil. Now add the sugar, salt, and some instant yeast. Using a whisk, stir that mixture together until it's well combined. Once you see the sourdough starter is pretty well incorporated with the rest of the mixture, you're gonna add the flour. Now make sure you measure your flour correctly for this recipe so your pancakes don't end up too thick. We do have a great video on how to measure ingredients for baking and cooking, so make sure you check that out. Add your flour to the batter 1 cup at a time, whisking to incorporate with each addition. Once all of the flour is incorporated, continue mixing until the batter is fairly smooth and it has a cake batter consistency. Now you need to let this batter rise. Cover the top with plastic wrap and leave it at room temperature for about 1.5 to 2 hours, or you can set it in a warm oven or warm room and it should be doubled in volume in about an hour. One of my favorite ways to proof dough is to set it into a cool oven, then turn the light on. I find it creates just enough heat to make that dough rise, but you do want to test it out and make sure that the oven temperature doesn't go above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Whenever you're working with yeast or sourdough starter, you don't want to go above 100 degrees, otherwise it'll deactivate and kill the yeast. Our batter has more than doubled in volume and you can see it's super puffy and bubbly. It's time to saute some pancakes. Set a large nonstick skillet over medium heat. You can also use a griddle. Then generously oil the pan. Spoon the batter into the hot pan, and I do like to use a trigger release ice cream scoop for easy and clean portioning. Saute for about 1 to 1.5 minutes per side. Once you see the bubbles pop on the surface, that's when you know it's time to flip. Once the pancakes are puffed and golden brown on both sides, transfer them to a serving platter or a wire rack. To get those crispy edges, you do want to keep a well-oiled skillet, so add more oil between batches as needed. As soon as they come off the heat, they're ready to serve. Oh my goodness, look at these beauties. So puffy. I cannot wait for those to get in my belly, you know what I'm saying? We do have 1 extra pancake though that didn't fit on the rack, and I have an idea. I know just what I'm gonna do with it. Vadim, you ready? Are you sure?
I'm not gonna catch it in my mouth. I don't want to ruin the shirt.
Okay, this is a first, but we're gonna, you better catch it. That one really flew. It flew and it scooted across the living room.
Yeah, picked up all the dust.
Oh no. You know what? You're the one who didn't catch it. Oh my gosh. Well, what do you think? Minus the lint and,
Tastes good, but
and floor garbage. Okay, give it back. Honey, let me give you a fresh one. People are gonna think that I'm abusing you. Okay, we are gonna get back into this taste test. I just have to get myself together. All right, but seriously, look at these. Honey, what do you think? Don't you love it?
I want more.
You want more? We're gonna hurry up and get this taste test done. You don't have to put them on a rack. You could just put them on a serving platter if you're serving them right away. I do like to serve them warm, so we're gonna get on with this taste test. We're gonna get some fluffy, pretty ones, which is all of them. And my favorite way to serve this is with some honey. They're really good with sour cream and jam. Like, that is just a magical combination for me. But for today, we're gonna keep it simple. We're just gonna drizzle with a little bit of honey. We're gonna add some fresh berries because I feel like that really makes breakfast. When you have pancakes, you have to have some kind of fruit to go with it. So I'm just gonna top this with some raspberries. You know, everything tastes better with fresh seasonal fruit. Last but not least, some blueberries. And I cannot wait until our homegrown blueberries are ripe and ready for us to pick. Oh, they're just the best. Isn't that pretty? Don't you want that? This too can be yours. Make the recipe. It really is super simple. You know, these are the pancakes that we grew up eating, and only recently-ish we started putting in the sourdough starter, and it just is next level. And I'm so happy that my daughter loves these pancakes. I feel like she could eat them every day and not get tired of them. Look at that. Look at that drizzle. I'm just gonna grab one and bite it because I want you guys to see the texture inside of these. I'm telling you, they're kind of like donuts. Like they're just soft and spongy. They're not like American buttermilk pancakes that have leavening that's either baking soda or baking powder. And that's what makes the texture here so much better. Okay, here we go. Enough talking. Oh. So delicious. Like these are kind of dangerous for me. I could eat like 10 of them if I don't exercise some restraint. So yummy, and look at that texture. It really is like spongy, so soft and moist inside, just the best. The yeast has so much great rising power, and then adding that sourdough makes these poof beautifully in the skillet. You're gonna love every bite, I'm telling you. And I think my favorite thing about these is how well they keep in the fridge. So this makes a pretty generous batch. You'll be so happy to have leftovers because you can reheat them on the skillet, reheat them in the toaster, and they are literally just like they were when they were fresh. Like they don't lose anything in quality. Let me know what you guys love on your pancakes. What kind of toppings are your favorite? And if you haven't already gotten your hands on our new cookbook, the recipe for these pancakes is based on my mom's. We call them Baba's Fluffy Oladee pancakes, and they are basically yeast pancakes that are just heavenly, and you do not need sourdough starter to make these. So if you're like, I don't have sourdough starter, or I don't want to make it, you can just...
Such a squeaky voice.
Well, no. I don't have sourdough starter, and I just don't want to make it. And then you can use the recipe in my cookbook and make just as good of yeast pancakes. I will leave a link to that in the comments, and I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of these pancakes. Maybe throw a few more to my husband. Just kidding, honey. Get over here, come have some pancakes. All right, we'll see you on the next episode of Natasha's Kitchen. Also, let me know where you spotted Sharky. I wanna hear from you in the comments, and if you have any recipe requests for the future, I would love to hear from you. All right, bye. Bye-bye. Bye now. Okay, really, bye. Yum.